And good morning, Rotarians. Thank you for joining us. This club meeting is called to order. Hey, it's a bell. Shortly, I'll be sharing my screen, leading us through another fun presentation to direct the conversation. Periodically, I'll bring the screen share down, so we can see each other's beautiful and friendly faces and have more dialogue. And feel free to speak out as you would in an in-person meeting, but if you're not using your microphone, be sure to put yourself on mute, or maybe I'll do it at the cost of a club fine. Here we go. Screen sharing action in now. Welcome everybody to the Fortuna Sunrise Club meeting for November 4th, 2020. That is volume 19 of my presidential year. We have an amazing Rotary Club and I'm so thankful to be a part of it. And at this time, I'll bring down the screen share and we'll introduce any guests we have this morning. I did see we have our speaker today, Kevin Eisenberg. Welcome, Kevin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Drive was pretty easy.
Yeah. just had to get out of bed. All right. And I think that's it. Rest of us are all club members. All right. We're going to keep this show on the road here. Okay. So typically at this time we'd be doing a flag salute, but since this meeting is virtual and we don't want to see each other's belly buttons as we stand up, why not a little bit of American history lesson? Did you know that on this day in 1920, the USA came up with a new air mail service and it opened between the United States and Canada. The first route was planned from Seattle to Washington to Victoria, British Columbia. And the pilot of the plane was scheduled to meet all boats arriving and departing from the British Columbia capital area. And that was this day. Airmail. Our inspirational message today. Happiness is an attitude. We either make ourselves miserable or happy and strong. And the amount of work is about the same.
Wow, good one.
Yeah. All right, and our four-way test this morning, we're going to go to Rotarian and past president, Heck Wood.
Good morning. The things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Hey, how about that? Well done, Heck. That was an awesome transition as well. Just got the microphone right on, and you were so worried. All right, let's keep moving forward. Announcements upcoming, things that are going on. Next week is Veterans Day. It'll be the same day as our Rotary meeting, November 11th, and we'll be doing the flags on Main Street. Rick Center, you want to give a little update on that?
Yeah, so Veterans Day, November 11th. It looks like sunrise time. We'll start putting the flags out at 6:30, and we're going to have to pick them up about 4:30 in the evening. Gets dark pretty fast, so if we get a big turnout, we can get them done pretty fast and maybe get into a meeting. But anyway, flags at 6:30 on the 11th.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rick.
Thank you, Simon.
You betcha. And November 13th and 14th is the 2020 Annual International Project Fair that will be online this year. So you can catch that instead of having to leave the country. How amazing is that? So sign up. And kind of on the theme of news and announcement, Backpacks, which is our partnership with Food for People, where we give food to needy families on the weekend so that they can just kind of make it through if they're really struggling. And today we have Steve, Fred, and Shirley taking care of that. Next week we have Steve, Lori, and Buster Garrison, all the Garrisons together. So awesome. Thank you for your work on that and keeping that going. Let's see. I'm going to stop the screen share right now and see if there's any club member announcements, guest announcements, or possibly Mary's here this morning, maybe a birthday or an anniversary we should celebrate. Oh, I see John Sapper's hand up. I see Kurt Wise's hand up. Maybe some.
No, it's not my birthday. It's just you said had any message or note in that.
Oh, Yeah, please.
Flags next week, for those who might not be aware and haven't helped in the past, if they want to, we meet at 8th and Main at 6:30 and 4:30. And so anyway, just a clarification for those who want to help then.
Excellent.
Good input, John. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Excuse me, I just have a little announcement. I came out of retirement last week.
Whoa.
I now work for Humboldt County Health and Human Services. I'm working on the COVID task force, and I'm what's called a hotel manager. There's a hotel in Eureka, the Humboldt Inn, and they've converted it to be a safe shelter for homeless people that are dealing with COVID, either in quarantine or waiting for test results or at high risk. So I'm going to be doing that a couple days a week in Eureka.
Fantastic.
It'll be interesting and challenging.
Hey, thank you. If anybody's up for that challenge and opportunity, it's you, Kurt. So
Yeah. So I'm not retired anymore, but that's okay.
yeah. Awesome.
All right, thank you.
Sounds like you're doing some good work. Thank you, sir. And Keith, I thought I saw your hand up too.
You did. I just wanted to give the club a brief update on the dictionary program. The books have been ordered, and it's certainly likely that it'll be a little bit different this year. We probably will not do the actual presentations to the kids. It hasn't been confirmed, but my guess is we'll probably still just be delivering the books to the schools, and we'll let them kind of pass them out at their on their own timetable. So anyway, that should happen in December, and I'll keep folks posted. We will need some help to possibly put some labels in the books and get them delivered. So we ordered about 250 books, so about the same number of third graders this year. So that's where we're at on that one.
Thank you for the update. Awesome program. And Mary, any birthdays, anniversaries?
You know, Jennifer Renner's been working on the list for me and I don't have it.
Okay, no problem. Does anybody want to fess up, maybe? I heard it's twice the fine if you have a birthday and we don't acknowledge you right that week. No? Okay, all right. Well, let's keep this show on the road, shall we? All right, so every week I've been sharing Artist of the Week. It's kind of been my theme of the year. And this week I figured after a couple of weeks of more scary and spooky themes, I thought we needed some lighthearted, maybe some pretty animals and beautiful colors. So we're going to look at the art of Tiffany Bozic this week. All right. And let's see if I can pull it all together here. There we go. Hey, and I put some owls in for Sal, but I don't think Mr. Kenichi's here this morning. But Tiffany Bozic is a California artist whose work has been described as the John James Audubon on acid. Wow. Her work evokes the traditional and tightly rendered nature illustration, which she explodes with highly emotional, surreal metaphors. Tiffany Bozic is a self-taught artist who's inspired both by her extensive travels to wild places and the research specimens at the California Academy of Sciences. And here we've got several avian pictorials. We've got two that feature owls left and right. And then in the center, we've got a group of birds, and I'm not sure the type on that, flying a nest into the air. Really gorgeous, colorful, accurate renditions of these birds. Well, let's keep it going, huh? All right, maple panels. That's one of the things that she's really known for, and you can probably see that in the last little bits, photos that I showed there. Over the years, Bozic's developed a complex process of masking, so actually putting areas over the top of the wood that the paint won't hit, and then staining those maple panels that she paints on. By doing this, the natural grain can collaborate with each composition using multiple layers of watered down acrylic paint. So each color layer is built gradually over time with these very watered down paints. And it's not surprising that her husband is an ornithologist, which studies birds, and her school-age daughter means that she spends a significant amount of time in these wilderness places, and the rhythms of which are very evident in her work. So we've seen some of the work. Beautiful stuff here. I love this. If you look really closely on the left panel, the framed in one, you can see several birds kind of hanging out. There's some leaves on the ground. And if you look under the stump, there's tiny little rattler snake kind of hanging out, looking to maybe pounce on one of these birds. So, all right. So our last slide, we typically go and ask a fellow Rotarian to tell us, critique, discuss, interpret, maybe talk about the type of the medium. And this morning, I think I'll call on Rotarian Carrie Anderson. Are you there, Carrie? Maybe? Your kids wanted to get you fined so much last week. I thought, why not do it 2 weeks in a row?
Oh, this is a really beautiful painting.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Sorry, my husband's on a work call in the background, guys. So I'm trying to.
No problem. Yeah, Carrie, tell us about Flora and Fawn is the name of this piece.
It's very, very nice. I like what she's done with how she's made the fawn. You know, her medium for all of the beautiful plants, and there's a nice little fern there in the background. The color's good. I like all the little lizards that are on the fawn's head, and the butterflies are nice. It's very, very nice painting. One my kids would like.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, that's good. That's good. You know, those kids are so darn sweet, especially with those finding signs last week. Well, I think that was a pretty adequate critique and interpretation of the work. One thing you might have noticed is that it's hard to tell in this pictorial. Is the fawn asleep? Is it dead? That's one thing that I might have pointed out when looking at this. So overall, pretty good. I think that's worth about a $10 fine. How about that, Carrie? All right, awesome. Thank you so much. Well, let's play another game, shall we? Let's go to, we're going to zoom in on that a little bit. We're going to play a game called Guess the Artist or Guess the Art Piece, all right? And how about we call on Seth? I don't think you've played this game. Seth McGrath, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome. So Georgia O'Keeffe is known as the mother of American modernism, most known for her paintings of enlarged flowers and New Mexico landscapes. And did you know in 2014, O'Keeffe's 1932 painting of gypsum weed sold for a whopping $44 million. So Seth, can you tell us which one of these art pieces was done by O'Keeffe? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
I'm just gonna have to go with number 2.
Number 2. Ooh, that is correct. That is correct. Great guess. Gosh, 2 weeks in a row, you guys have got me. That's no fine for you, buddy. Man, I'm gonna have to work a little harder at this, I guess. Well done, well done. Yes, the center one is New York Street with Moon by Georgia O'Keeffe. Yeah, threw a little weird one in there. I guess it was kind of, you knew it was a trick when I threw in the cityscape scene instead of the big, large flower. Great job, Seth. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
What are the other pictures by, Simon?
Oh, good questions. Good questions. On the first one is Faith Wilding, and that's called Fearful Symmetries. And on the right is by Matthew Fisher. It's called The Fates. So they're definitely artists that were inspired by Georgia O'Keeffe, had that same kind of a flavor with colors and blending of things and nature landscapes, yet not that mother of American modernism there. All right, weekly recognition. So every week we have been recognizing somebody. It could be a pictorial. I've been drawing just about everybody in the club. I'm working through the club members. Last week we photoshopped Sal's head on an owl. That was pretty awesome. But who do you think I'm going to feature this week, huh? Who's going to be our featured Rotarian? Drum roll. How about Mr. Ross Rowley. Ross, you there, bud? Let me just talk a little bit about Ross, and I'm gonna do that with 3 words: musician, local, and sweater vests. Right? Why not? Ross always wanted to work in show business, so his first job was working at the 299 Drive-In Theater in Willow Creek as a ticket taker. I think he was successful. That led him into a career in local television, which he's worked for the last 37 years, and he's currently the Creative Services Director / Assistant General Manager. Huge title. Mr. Ross has played in popular dance bands for the last 45 years, nonstop, up until maybe March this year, you know, as all bands have kind of taken a hiatus right now. During that time, he's opened concerts for a couple of dozen major country artists, including Willie Nelson, Charlie Daniels Band, the Bellamy Brothers, Aaron Tippin, and Patty Loveless. Wow, look at this. And look at, he also likes a nice plate of food in front of a Swiss flag. There we go. Or dressing up in flamingo costumes. We love Ross, that musician. Ross is also a local, 4th generation Humboldtian, born at Redwood Memorial Hospital in 1960. So you can do the math on Ross's age there. Ross,
I'm younger than Keith Borges. Born at the same hospital.
Born at the same hospital, yes. Ross transitioned from a small sack of wriggling flesh into a teenager in Willow Creek, and he attended Hoopa High School and College of the Redwoods. Ross moved to Fortuna in 2012 after meeting Aaron Dunn, and he was involved with the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life for 11 years, co-chairing with the marketing committee. He's also a board member for Buds of the Redwoods for children with Down syndrome, not to mention a board member of the Fortuna Cemetery Association, which with this organization, he co-chaired the popular Grave Matters and Untimely Departures Halloween shows at the Fortuna Cemetery, which, if you haven't been, is amazing little historical theater fundraiser for these local cemeteries to keep them clean and up to snuff. So awesome work. And we've got some fun photos of Ross up there, who's definitely not shy around a camera. And lastly, Ross, sweater vest. I even captured a little screenshot of his sweater vest this morning there in the dead center. Have you seen his brilliant selection of warm business casual workwear that Ross has been known to rock? I think so. Or have you tried his bachelor's bouillabaisse that was featured in the Rotaract cookbook? Or that he's currently playing music in a surf band? But all jokes aside, Ross was our club's president in 2016-17. He served as assistant governor. He's our club secretary, foundation chair, and host dad to 3.5 foreign exchange students. They only let 1/2 of that exchange student come across. No, probably just got the tail end, I'm assuming, of one of the exchange students. Not to mention, these are some big accolades here. American Cancer Society Volunteer of the Year in 2000, for Humboldt County, the state for 2001. Wow. And top that all off, he was our Rotarian of the Year for 2020. Thank you, Ross. So everybody, let's play some air guitar for Ross Rowley. What? Wow, wow. Ross, that rocking illustration has to be worth.
I hope that was in memory of Eddie Van Halen.
Yes, of course. Of course. Ross, that rocking illustration has to be worth about as much as 40 family folk albums at a thrift store. I'd say $20 fine.
Okay, I've got Limelighters, and I've got the Weavers, and I've got I'll give you your $40.
$40. Oh, I was going for 20. I figured 50 cents a piece, but dang, let's stock up.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's.
They were good ones, though. I paid $1 each.
Okay, $40. Let's do it. That sounds amazing. Thank you, Ross. Give it up for Ross. All right. Thank you, Ross. You've been very helpful through my presidential year so far, so I really, really appreciate it.
It's still early.
It is that time to go into our weekly presentation, so I'll pass it over to our program chair, Aaron Dunn, to introduce the presenter.
Hi, good morning, everybody. We are so lucky to have Kevin Eisenberg as our program today. Kevin lives in Calistoga, and his career has included being principal of Calistoga Elementary School and the Calistoga Junior Senior High School. He was selected as Educator of the Year in Napa County in 1999, and he's now devoting all of his time to Rotary. He has had every position in his club except secretary. And for our zones, Kevin served as Assistant Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator. Kevin served as District Governor in 2014-15. He was my predecessor and mentor, and really counted on Kevin a lot during that time. Kevin and his wife Mary have also been host parents to many exchange students, and he's done a lot of biking on behalf of Rotary. You may have seen him here for our bike race, but also pedal for polio down in Arizona. Currently, he serves as our district's foundation committee chair. So this is the kickoff to Foundation Month. It's the traditional month here for Rotary International. And he's also the club foundation chair for the Rotary Club of Calistoga. For fun, he hikes, bikes, writes humorous plays, and annoys his family. But we are so excited to have you here this morning, Kevin, our district foundation chair.
Well, thank you. I'm going to, could you enable screen sharing for me so I can show you this, all the pictures that go with the foundation presentation?
It should be up there now. Give it a try.
It is. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, as Erin said, November is Foundation Month. So what better time to talk about the foundation than when we get to talk about it? So the foundation, what does it do? You know what it does is it takes your donations and it turns them in to global humanitarian service projects, making your communities around the world, better places to live for everybody. Yeah, pretty simple. And it's been around for over 100 years. And it's, well, again, it's your donations that make sure that the Rotary Foundation can do its good work. All right, there are three major funds and one brand new fund. You probably heard of all these. The Polio Plus Fund. Yay, let's end polio now. We are, as we all know, this close. Then there's the annual fund, and that's just basic operating expenses. That's what pays for the grants. That's what makes it happen. And then the endowment fund. And the endowment fund supports the foundation's legacy in perpetuity, where the money is not spent, the capital's not spent, but the interest keeps the foundation going for on and forever. And then the newest fund is the Disaster Response Fund. And what this does, it's for immediate support. And since there are lots and lots of disasters these days, it's actually getting a lot of use, and it's been, well, as I'm going to talk about a little later, it's actually made it a little bit harder to completely fund global grants because the Disaster Response Fund has been so important. Let's talk a little bit about Polio Plus. So Polio Plus, as you know, since 1988, has been the signature project for Rotary. And right now, through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, if you donate $1 to Polio Plus, it's matched 2 to 1, so your $1 becomes $3. Now, I will admit, Bill and Melinda, sometimes when they're talking on popular media, forget to mention Rotary. And I've learned to accept that because they keep giving us hundreds of millions of dollars. And if they want to take a little extra credit, you know, let's just give them some slack. They keep coughing up the money. I just heard Melinda being interviewed, and somebody said, I don't even remember who, but they said, "Oh, and you're eradicating polio." She says, "Yep, that's us." Well, she still gave us the money. But we are this close. We're making incredible progress. It's been great. Now, COVID has had some effect. They had to stop door-to-door vaccinations, but they're back in use where it can be. Polio workers were shifting to COVID response, using the Polio Plus expertise in finding, well, you know, Polio Plus scientists, they hang out in sewers looking for the polio virus, where they're using the same kinds of techniques to look for COVID outbreaks and try to get in and implement masks and other ideas before it spreads too much. And when the vaccine is available, depending upon which vaccine it is, Polio Plus, they're the experts in vaccinating in difficult environments. You know that it's the Polio Plus people who are really there in the most difficult war-torn countries. And that's why Rotary is so important to the eradication of polio. So the annual fund. So when Ross hassles you and says, hey, it's time to contribute to the Rotary Foundation, primarily he's pushing the annual fund. This is the fund that keeps your grants coming, the district grants, the global grants. And this is, you get points for your Paul Harris, you get points for the club, you make your annual goals look a whole lot better. So don't embarrass Ross and the club. Keep contributing to the Rotary Foundation because you got a goal you've got to meet. Now, this is the next piece. This is the most amazing thing in the world. There is this thing, you donate money to the annual fund and you wonder, what is this share thing? What is this thing they call DDF, District Designated Funds? Well, I'm going to show you how it happens. If you already know, just follow along with a smile. Let's say that District 5130 donates $400,000 to the annual fund. We wait, the foundation sits on it for 3 years, gaining interest to make sure that your money actually goes to grants, not to overhead. And so they use the interest for the overhead. Now, after 3 years, half of it comes right back to the district. That's what they call the share program, because they share the money. The other half goes to the World Fund. So this is your money coming back to you. Now, what happens to that money? Well, usually half of it goes to district grants and half of it goes to global grants. So that's when you've done your great district grants, and the matching goes to global grants from the district. Now, what happens to the other half? Well, that whole goes to global grants and peace centers, but you'll also notice that that money then again matches any global grants we do. So potentially, if we do enough global grants and do all our district grants, we could get all the money we put in back to our projects. And that is where that money goes. And now you are all experts on DDF, which puts you in the top 2% of all Rotarians worldwide. Now, the endowment fund. People have a lot of fun things to say about the endowment fund. It's service after self, or during, it's football season, so it's you kick off and we score. But it's not just the money you put into your wills or trusts. This is money that you can put into the endowment fund at any time. And all it's saying is, I want to preserve the legacy of Rotary. And there's all sorts of fun ways you can contribute. You can contribute some real property to the endowment fund. You can contribute appreciated stocks and get huge tax benefits. And it doesn't even have to be the endowment fund. Think about that. If you're looking for some great tax benefits right now, think about appreciated stocks or real estate or any kind of real property that you can give to the foundation. You can even get and buy annuities through the foundation. And then you get, you donate the money and you get monthly income. great ideas. So the endowment fund is very powerful, and every one of you should do it. You should all be members of the Bequest Society. Give money to the endowment fund without it costing you a penny. The only cost is to your kids way in the future, and who cares about them anyway? All right, areas of focus. The Rotary Foundation has specific areas of focus. They're critical humanitarian issues, and these are needs that Rotary is addressing worldwide. These are huge things which make the world a better place. Now, you may already know this, but see the 6 areas of focus? There are now 7. And the 7th area of focus, if you don't already know, is the environment. And you can start writing global grants specifically for environmental causes beginning in July of 2021. But it is now officially the 7th area of focus. And isn't that exciting? Okay, let's talk about district grants. This is the contact most people have with foundation grants. Clubs do, easy to write. District grants, they can be local, international. They still should be, the purpose is to make the world a better place. And these happen every year. In 2019, 2020. I sometimes make that mistake and confuse people. You guys did the Roner Park Trail signage. And since you did file a final report, I'm assuming it was done properly. And also, one of my favorite named district grants came from Fortuna Sunrise last year, the Newburgh Park Cornhole Court. And I looked at pictures. Those are amazing, like this steel cornhole thing. It looks like it's gonna last forever. That was amazing. I'm just very impressed. And this year, you're doing the Fortuna High mural, and I hope that's coming along well. That sounds like a great project. Anyway, district grants, a great way for clubs to participate with the Rotary Foundation and make a difference either in your own community or any community. All right, then we do want to mention that there should be Rotarian participation. Stewardship guidelines, you're still the responsible party no matter what, and reading your final reports, it seems like you understand that. Cultural sensitivity, that just means you know that your community loves cornhole. So, and of course the foundation mission. Now, global grants, these are big, long-term, sustainable, measurable. They have to be direct alignment with an area of focus, and they're always between 2 clubs. The host club, where the grant actually takes place, and an international partner who supports the host club. And one of the biggest, most important things for a global grant is community assessment, local community assessment. And here's a picture. This, by the way, these are new slides. I haven't used these before, but I had to keep one from my old set. And it's this picture right here. So this was not a Rotary project, but these people built this water well, but it was powered by kids going on a merry-go-round and spinning it around. But they didn't do a local community assessment. They didn't find out if the community wanted the kids to skip school and run the water pump. They didn't find out that the community was really not interested in child labor and not allowing these kids to go to sleep at night so that they could turn the pump. All of these failed. They actually made several. But for the Rotary Foundation to do a global grant, you absolutely have to do a local community assessment before you can even think about doing a global grant. We want to make sure we're doing what the community wants. We want to make sure that we have buy-in from the community. We want to make sure that the community is truly being served and that there is sustainability. Rotary does not throw money at projects. Rotary creates meaningful change that lasts in perpetuity long after Rotary's gone. How? Community assessments, local ownership, training is a huge part. And when we're purchasing things for a global grant, buy local. That way, things can be replaced locally, and it stimulates the local economy, and the people, the beneficiaries, need to be part of the local funding to make sure that it will last in perpetuity, and everything has to be assessed. So global grants are really an amazing thing, some of the most successful projects in any foundation. And of course, you all know that the Rotary Foundation is one of the top foundations in the world, always getting top scores from Charity Navigator. And by the way, I just have to mention a perfect 100 points for financial accountability and transparency. And the reason is simple. It's because there's a bunch of Rotarians running it who have to recite the four-way test at the beginning of each meeting. Okay, there are some other kinds of global grants. Global grant scholarships. They can be, these are for graduate level study, and they produce scholars in specific areas of focus. District grant scholarships. You could actually do a district grant to have a scholarship for somebody to do something that will further the goals, the mission of Rotary. Vocational training teams. This is where we either send a group of experts to another country in order to train, or we have people involved on the ground in another country come here to learn how to do some idea better. And then the Rotary Peace Centers with Rotary Peace Center scholarships. And that's where we train people to promote peace, happiness, love, and goodness throughout the world. So here are some people we're really trying on the Rotary, with the Rotary Foundation, to encourage participation, and that's the alumni. That's everyone who's ever been involved in anything. And I know you're very big with Rotary Youth Exchange students. Don't lose touch with them. They're part of Rotary. They may be avenues to find a global grant. Your district grant recipients, and anyone you know that has been involved in Rotary. Those are the people to make contact with, make part of your club. All right, now take action. First thing, give to the Rotary Foundation. Easy. If you have any questions, just ask Ross. He'd love to help out. All you have to do, bring him a cup of coffee. He'll do whatever you want. Participate in Rotary grants. We certainly have done that with your district grants. Start looking at global grants and play around with Rotary.org. You can learn incredible amounts. Now, what do you get out of contributing? You get a lot. You get pins. Look, my shirt's hanging down because of the weight of the pins. This is really embarrassing. I got to pull, I can never figure out which side is which. There, I'll hold it up. I start to fall over. So you all know you get Paul Harris Fellow, every $1,000, you get a new one. Sustaining member, just $100. You can get little stickers, and the little stickers say sustaining member, and you get new ones each year. Paul Harris Society, all it is $1,000 a year to the Rotary Foundation. And if you think about it, that's not really very much. It's a cup of coffee a day, or $85 a month, or $1,000 a year. It sounds bigger than it is. Benefactor, oh, by the way, I forgot to, should be demonstrating pins here. I never can figure this out. Paul Harris Society, you get a cute little thingy that you can play with. I don't know if you can, that you can spin. It's a spinner for your pins. So that's why it's so important to be a member of the Paul Harris Society. Benefactor, $1,000 in your will or trust to the foundation. Bequest Society, not a big deal. $10,000 in your will or trust. $10,000, the kids won't even notice it's gone. and you don't have to pay anything up front. Major donor, very attractive pin for major donor. You get it diamond shaped unless you turn it, and then it's square shaped. So you get a choice, diamond or square. And that's for $10,000 in your will or trust to bequest this. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a major donor. That's for $10,000 cumulative donations to the Rotary Foundation. And if you remember the Paul Harris Society, that'll come in 10 quick years. Arts Clump Society, oh, if you have a spare $250,000, you can donate that to the Rotary Foundation and you get the coolest pin. It's really small, but it's really cool. It says AKS on it. I don't have one. I can't show it to you, but I've seen them up close. They're really great pins, worth $250,000 easy. Now, you'll see at the bottom, there's some asterisks and triple crown. This is new. Triple crown. I am gonna take this one. And so if you do the other 3 asterisk items, Paul Harris Society, $1,000 a year, Bequest Society, $10,000 in your will or trust, and major donor, $10,000 cumulative, you get to be a triple crown person, and you get the triple crown pin that is unique to our district. And that is certainly an attractive pin. And we just announced at the Rotary Foundation celebration October 24th, all of our new Triple Crown winners. Easily something that you would like to have and to save and to wear wherever you go. All right. Thank you for supporting the Rotary Foundation. Are there any questions?
I have some. Hey, Kevin, great presentation. Thank you for that. There was a lot of things that we just didn't know. But one that we are a little bit concerned about in our area is the brand new disaster relief fund in the district. We've even had people contribute to it just recently. What can you tell us about that?
Okay, so this offers $25,000 grants to districts, requires no matching, but it has to be used for an immediate disaster. Now, since our district, we specialize in fires and sometimes floods, we certainly have the disasters. Now, you should apply for it with the district governor because it's by district. And when people donate to the disaster relief fund, it goes into the general fund, and then the $25,000 is apportioned out from that. It's not donating to a specific disaster. Now, there's also our district disaster relief. Well, I think it's emergency relief fund. Actually, I'm not sure of the name. That's separate from the Rotary Foundation. And that fund is specifically for District 5130 disasters. And it's not a foundation fund, and I'm not exactly sure what the current plan is on how to use it. I was on that committee back when, in the beginning, but I'm not sure where it's at right now, but that's a way to contribute directly to District 5130 disasters. The Disaster Relief Fund through Rotary Internet, the Rotary Foundation, goes into a general fund, and then districts apply for it.
It seems where we saw it most were the fires in your area in the last 3 or 4 years. And the Rotarian and districts the district was giving out things like small loans and or grants, I should say, and gift cards for food and such for businesses. Is that correct? What did you say?
It was primarily the district disaster relief fund back in the Tubbs fire. It was primarily giving out grants to businesses and individuals. And these grants were mostly to get businesses back on track. That's where we got the big, huge donation from a bank in Santa Rosa. And then for individuals who were in extreme need. Now, you did receive last year $500 for COVID relief from our district grant fund. And you can use district grants for fire relief, you can use it for COVID relief, you can use it for anything, almost anything you would like to, and you're getting another $250 that's specific for COVID relief. Your club probably knows best what your community needs. You need to figure out whether it's gift cards, grants, or what, and that's where the extra money would be best, or the or district grant funds. My club actually purchased gift cards to give to our local family resource center because they were best able to give out the food. They could give the food cards to the people that they knew were in greatest need. But that's really your club's going to know your needs the best.
Yeah, thanks. I steered you away from foundation, but it was kind of pressing for a lot of members in our club with that topic.
Okay. Any other questions about anything?
Hey, Kevin, I know that we have the Rotary Foundation Seminar coming up in a couple of weeks. Can you tell us a little bit about that, if some people didn't see the email, or how to register or anything like that?
Well, I'm going to do a reminder on that, so don't worry, because I know Rotarians never register after the first email. So this will be big surprise on Zoom, but we hope to make it fun because I'm going to use breakout rooms. The idea will be for people who really want to make a difference in their club, and how can they support the foundation better? How can they better use foundation funds? So it's going to be with breakout rooms in different subjects. We'll put you in smaller groups so that there can be discussions, interactions. I'm going to try to avoid, there will be some presentation parts to it, but I want to avoid it being just one long lecture. But it's designed for club officers, foundation chairs, and anybody in your club who wants to just be better acquainted with the foundation, something a little bit bigger than this short presentation, and know how they can participate better with the foundation. So it is November 25th. Oh, now I have to look at my calendar. It's a Saturday from about 9 to 10:30, 11. And we hope to keep it moving. And I will send out probably 2 or 3 more emails as reminders to how to register. You'll register, you just click the link, you register, and then you get sent the link to join a few days before the meeting, so the link doesn't get lost.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. Let's see here.
Do you want me to stop sharing?
That would be amazing, please. Thank you.
Ha!
Aha. All right. Thank you so much, Kevin, for being our speaker today and telling us a little bit about the foundation, or a lot. Yeah, I give it up for Kevin. And I hope it was informative. There was definitely a nice comment in the chat there from a new member. So there was definitely an educational aspect to it. I love it. Let's do our drawing and part ways, because it's just about that time. So we have a little bit of a kitty. Somebody won it, I think, 2 weeks ago. So we kind of reset. We're back to it. What, 55 or something, Ross? 55? All right. So I'm going to grab a ticket first. The spray painted mayonnaise jar of raffle drawings. And let's see. What do I get? We're getting to that point where it's like, oh, not here. Not here. Let's see. No. Just keep drawing. No. Is Jeff here? Yeah, Jeff. You could win untold fortunes. Or actually, it's 55 bucks. Let's see what ball is going to get drawn this morning. I'm reaching in and, oh man, Fine Master. No money, but the fines will be coming. You think you can handle that, Jeff?
Is there an option of paying a fine instead of doing it?
I mean, I'm sure we could. I mean, the Craft Talk's 25 bucks. What? How about Fine Master's 30?
All right.
Yeah, you'd rather do that?
I'd much rather do that.
Boom, 30 bucks. The kitty. Thank you, Jeff. Woo! All right.
Yay, Jeff.
What a fine fellow.
What a fine fellow.
Hey, Simon, when you do that, we should make sure that he provides appropriate fines for what he would have generated for the club.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I'm sure if he was a fine master, it would just be a short amount of fines. So 30's probably 35. I had to do it, Jeff. I'm sorry. Stopper didn't have his microphone on. Somebody's got to fill in the void here.
I'm stunned that you only fined him 30 bucks.
Come on, Jeff, step up.
For not doing that work, he'd have paid a lot more than that.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, not in your year. I gotcha. Anybody else have anything they'd like to mention for our club, Rotary in general, or the world at large? Anything that you'd like to bring to the table before we part ways? All right.
Thank you, Kevin Eisenberg, for driving all the way up here to deliver your meaningful message.
Yes, thank you, Kevin. All right, sounds like that's it. Have a marvelous Rotary Day, everybody, and we'll see you next Wednesday, if not sooner.
See you, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Bye.